Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tailgate Talk with Coach Jason Garrett. I'm Sean McBride, and this is our first episode of the 23 season. Coach Garrett, thanks very much for being with us.
Hi.
This is exciting. Thanks for having me.
Indeed it is. It's
Kevin
Wednesday
Burns,
before the big game against the Bulldogs, coming in from Brownsburg. Lots to talk about, but not a lot of time. Wanted to first get your thoughts. Again, this year in the SAC, things are quite a bit different, going into two divisions, and really opens up the schedule. Haven't really heard your thoughts on the realignment there. What's your thoughts on the two division work in the SAC?
Awesome.
Yeah, the two divisions is one thing. I think the opportunity to play, two out of conference games is just such a great blessing. Gives us a chance to, kind of see where we're at. We were blessed to get two tremendous opponents, and starting the season off, going as fast as we possibly can in that regard. So it's a blessing, and hopefully prepares us then for the gauntlet that starts week 3 into the SAC. How the divisions are divided. I mean, they had to divide it one way or another. We're actually in the big school division, and we embrace that challenge for sure. So, for us, it's always been about, trying to play the best opponents we possibly can and, get us ready for the postseason. And
let's talk a little bit about that, because a lot of people say you swung for the fences with these two opponents. Some think that you're out over your skis, to use some of that term. So what was the thought process of going against or trying to get a hold of teams like Brownsburg, clearly one of the top 6A teams in the state, and then of course with Moeller, a top 30 team in the country. So talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, I think the philosophy there is, I think a lot of people share the same philosophy. You want to be the best, you play the best, and I think, putting ourselves in a situation where, from week 1, the knobs turned all the way up, and certainly, that's where we are. As far as how the process worked and things, I mean, you kind of opened the door to it, and Brownsburg had an open week. It was early on, and gosh, we were blessed that they were interested in playing us first and foremost, right? And for some years now, since we were, doing this, gosh, I'd have to go back. I think it was 10 years ago or so. All I can remember is playing LaSalle, maybe there and maybe home in 14. But, to be able to do that, and, Moeller was always kind of in the back of our minds as a great opportunity, and they happen to have an open week as well. So, number one, blessed that they're interested in playing us. Number two, they're obviously tremendous opponents, as you mentioned, and fast, physical. They play the game right, and they're well coached, and so. Let's see where we're at, and let's get ourselves prepared for the SAC, and ultimately, let's get ourselves ready for the postseason, and that's the mindset.
You bet. Let's talk a little bit internally now about the Saints. Tell us a little bit about the senior class that you've got here today.
It's an outstanding group. I think year in and year out, you have many positive things to say about your senior group. This one in particular, coming off, the way things ended last year, we hadn't been in that situation, in many, many years, and so how are we going to respond to the adversity of ending a season early? And, albeit a lot of injuries, other things that happened in the season last year, but this group from January until now has embraced kind of that blue-collar, hard work, mentality. We entered into January with a military-style conditioning and weightlifting program, and, set standards very, very high, and the seniors led the way on that. And, here we sit with 26 young men that have embraced all of those things, embraced the fact that, we want to better represent who Bishop Dwenger football is. Not so much about the results, those will come, but how we go about it day in and day out. Consistent, physical, fast, unified, all those things, the brotherhood, So they've embraced it. I couldn't be prouder of a group of young men, and I arguably have said, I don't know a group that's worked harder than them, and that goes back to, when we were around. And, I don't remember a group of young men that have worked as hard as they have, and hopefully that pays off.
Indeed. Fantastic. So another a little wrinkle this year when we talk about the team captains, something maybe a new tradition, maybe not, but the team actually chose, and it's 4, right, the team captains?
Okay.
So who are they, and what can you tell us about them?
Yeah, so to the process, we have our camp day at St. Felix, which involves the senior jersey ceremony, which is a special day in and of itself, where the dads or granddads or uncles, whoever that significant male presence is in the young man's life, presents the jersey. So on that day, we chose to have the team vote for the captains. Prior to that,
I think it's just Saints.
Went to the seniors and said, who would like to be on the ballot. And of the 26, 10 young men stepped forward and said, I'd like to be on the ballot, be considered. to be a team captain, something new as well, a little bit more integrity, maybe a little bit more accountability, all those things. So we rolled it out, and every single one of them got votes. Ended up being that the top 4 guys had over 50% of the team votes, and thought they made it pretty clear, who they wanted to lead them as team captains. So, Max Carey, Christian Lozada, Wyatt Tippmann, and John Paul Henry are the 4 captains. The beautiful thing about some tradition we've started, going back to 18, they actually did it in 15 as well under Ernie Bodrab, was that all the seniors have a chance to be a game captain.
So what do you expect?
So you'll see different captains each week, maybe 2 or 3 that are not one of the team captains, and then when we get to the playoffs, it'll be the 4 team captains. So it's to acknowledge the fact that they've all worked their tails off. For many of them, this is their 4th year being with us. They deserve an opportunity to be the leaders of the team, at least for a night. So blessed with those 4 guys. The team chose them, high percentage of the votes, and yet all our seniors are leaders in different ways, and they'll get recognized for that at least on one Friday night throughout the season.
Fantastic. We're getting ready to wrap up here, Coach, so we're going to give the open mic, if you will. Any message to the folks watching throughout the land, what they can expect this year, or anything you'd like to say to the folks at home?
Yeah, I think the thing that comes to mind, our seniors have chosen sacrifice as a theme. I think they've embraced the sacrifices necessary to represent, 60 years of Bishop Dwenger presence, and we don't take that lightly, nor do they. So, they've embraced sacrifice. I think we uphold that trust, unity, and toughness. And, our virtue for the last 3 weeks has been vigilance. And, I showed a little candlelight torch, and then I said, or are you like this? And I pulled out the big major torch that had the blue flame. And, they've embraced it. They're doing everything they can, along with the coaching staff, to uphold the great traditions of Bishop Dwenger football, and they're going to do everything we can, or we are going to do everything we can to make it a successful year in that way.
Amen. Good stuff. Well, Coach, thanks very much for being with us, and best of luck during the game.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everybody.
Very good. That's exactly what I need.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Bishop Dwenger Football on Saints Sports Network. We are broadcasting live from Shields Field on the campus of Bishop Dwenger High School, where tonight the Saints kick off the 2023 season with their first ever meeting with the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Before we get any farther, we'd like to begin with an opening prayer, and for that we turn to Bishop Dwenger Chaplain, Father Bobby Krish. Father?
Thank you. Let's begin in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, mighty God, we ask you to pour out your Holy Spirit upon all of us gathered this evening, especially the football players. Please keep them safe. Help them to use the gifts and talents that you have given them very well, and to play to the best of their abilities, and keep us safe always. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much, Father. And we will now take a moment to listen in as we have an opening prayer and national anthem here live at Shields Field.
Holy Spirit, God our Father, you have created us to strive for the best. Grant to all athletes, coaches, and fans strength to pursue excellence during this event and all that we do for the glory of God. We pray for the safety of these athletes, protect them from injury and harm. And finally, we pray for your grace, that you would provide us with the endurance to pursue our heavenly prize, eternal life with your Son. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the playing of our national anthem, please welcome Audrey Alter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, like the guidelights last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
All right, and with that, we once again welcome you to Shields Field. I am Eric Pete, thrilled to be joined up in the booth tonight by Kevin Burns, and we are thrilled that all of you have joined us here tonight for this maiden voyage of Saints Sports Network. It is an exciting time to be a Bishop Dwenger fan, huh, Kevin?
It is an awesome time. I can't believe football's here again, Eric. It's a beautiful night. We got a tall task ahead of us, but couldn't ask for anything better.
We are especially thankful for all of the support that has allowed the Saints Sport Network to take off here at Bishop Dwenger High School, a new outlet for all things Bishop Dwenger sports, and that starts tonight with our high school football broadcast. Week 1 of the 2023 season is upon us, and Kevin, as you mentioned, a tall task indeed, the Brownsburg Bulldogs coming to town. And that just sounds crazy to say in and of itself because we are so used to those.
We're not playing Wayne tonight?
Exactly.
I can't believe it. We're not playing the Wayne Generals tonight.
The SAC, with its realignment, has finally allowed teams to step outside of conference play for the first time since 2014. And as a result, Bishop Dwenger swung for the fences with its opponents week 1 and week 2. It starts tonight with a powerful 6A Brownsburg squad that boasted not only a 10-2 record last year, but was ranked number 1 in Class 6A for a good part of the year. And they are very talented, fast, and as you will, I'm sure, allude to right here, Kevin, they're big.
They are, Eric, and this team's going to compete at the highest level in 6A this year, and they've got a very successful coach. He's 60-17 in his years at Brownsburg, but has coached high school football for a long time. And Eric, he's 327-98 in his total high school career. So they're going to be well coached, and you said they're big. They go across the board on the offensive line. 300, they're 300, 290, 300. They have one guy at 250. But they're big, and they're fast, and they're strong. And this is going to be a tall task for the Saints tonight, and we'll be hanging in there tonight. This is good. This is a real good test for the Saints.
That's right. The Bulldogs come in a preseason ranking of number 9 in Class 6A, but it's just a who's who of powerhouses atop that poll. You talk about their season last year. They started 8-0, and then their first loss happened in Week 9 of the regular season to Hamilton Southeastern, and that was a 3-point defeat. And then they went on to face Cathedral in the regional championship and lost that game 14-7. It was a very close ball game. In fact, this same squad defeated Cathedral earlier in the year, but finishing their regular season at 10-2, an impressive season. They're averaging, last year they averaged a margin of victory of over 19 points a game. They know how to score the football.
Yes, they do, Eric. And, they did lose their quarterback, very, very good quarterback last year, and they had an offensive lineman that ended up going to Iowa on scholarship. But they return a very, very good running back. I think he's been playing since the sophomore year. They've got a wide receiver, Corey Smith, that is going to Minnesota on a full ride. And I was impressed. Of their offense, they have 9 senior starters. And anytime you have that many senior starters, they've got experience. They're not going to be intimidated by coming to Shields Field tonight. And very interested to see how the Dwenger D hangs on tonight.
Well, when you have that many starters all the same year, you've got chemistry. And that's exactly what the Bishop Dwenger Saints are hoping to begin building tonight as they break in a new man under center, and that is Ethan Springer. Transfer from Carroll High School. He is a senior this year, but this will really be his first crack at a starting job. Last year at Carroll, of course, he sat behind super sophomore Jimmy Sullivan, so he saw limited action. Of course, he did when he did see the field in the 6A state championship last year. He was able to go 2 for 3 and threw a touchdown pass. In fact, it was Carroll's only touchdown of the game. So experience in small bites, albeit on a big stage.
Yeah, you couldn't have put it any better, Eric. He brings some leadership. He's a senior. He has been through these seasons before, but what he doesn't have is the experience piece. And I see him growing each game as he sees the field and sees things, and as things slow down for him, he's going to be really good at the end of the year. And we just got to get him some time on the field as a starter. And The other thing is we do still have a playmaker in Carter Minix from the return game. They got to figure out how to get the ball to him. He's not the tailback. He's more of a wide receiver, slot back. So very interested to see Carter Minix as well.
Yeah, Saints fans very familiar with that name. He has made his presence felt all across the field. Last year you saw him returning punts, returning kickoffs. You saw him on offense out of the backfield, lining up at wide receiver. He could do it all, and the Saints will need for him to do it all, or at least a big chunk tonight to keep up with these Bulldog squads. We mentioned, Kevin, this is the first ever meeting between these schools. And if you're looking at Brownsburg and Bishop Dwenger, two storied programs that are very used to immediate success when the season starts. Brownsburg's won 14 of their last 16 season openers. Bishop Dwenger has won 18 of their last 19. And Kevin, you and I both know that one year that they didn't win their first game in 2015, at Lures, they ended up running the table and winning state. So they did okay.
They did.
So no reason to freak out if Bishop Dwenger doesn't win the first game.
No, this is exciting. New format, new network here.
That's right.
Everything's new, and can't wait. The season's about ready to start.
Here we are at Shields Field. We are underway as the Saints kick this one away, left to right, fielded right at the goal line, and with a foot in the end zone, that's going to be a touchback.
Yeah, Eric, and I just wanted to elaborate on this tailback. They do like to run the ball. Brownsburg likes to run the ball. They do have a 3-receiver set. They have an H-back, which is really a guy that can receive the ball, but he's like your fullback. He just doesn't line up in the normal fullback position. But this running back, Garrett Sherrill, is very, very good. Not a big guy, but he's very shifty, and he runs hard. You're going to see a healthy dose of him tonight, I'm sure.
1st and 10 from the 20. Here is Brownsburg, handoff. It is Sherrill. He's through the middle, around the left side, across the 30, 35, 40, down the sideline, and it does not look like he will be caught. An 80-yard touchdown scamper on the first play from scrimmage, and just like that, it is 6-0 Bulldogs with 15 seconds gone by in this ball game.
Well, that's not how you want to start off the season, Eric. We had a couple missed tackles there. Nothing fancy. They've seen that play multiple times in their film review, and just we didn't make good tackles and didn't contain on the outside, and that's what happens, big plays. That's not a good start.
You saw the shiftiness out of Sherrill on that play, the speed at the end of it. And he's got the Bulldogs on top. Now lining up for the PAT, Spencer Porath, a very promising kicker, a Purdue commit. Boots this one up and through. So with 15 seconds gone by, your score, Brownsburg 7, Bishop Dwenger 0. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on Saints Sports Network. Back to Shields Field, we'd like to remind everyone, check out the new merchandise arriving weekly in the Bishop Dwenger Spirit Shop. Order letter jackets, pick up a Traditions shirt, or find the perfect gift for your saint. The shop is open Wednesdays or all the time online at bishopdwenger.com. Well, the Bulldogs strike first, took them all of one play to reach the end zone. And Sherrill, we talked about how talented he is. A third-year starter for the Bulldogs. He's got over 2,000 yards and add 80 to that total after that run. Porath kicks it away, and Minix will catch it deep within his own end zone.
Yeah, just important for the Saints office here to maybe get a couple first downs, settle things down. To go 3 and out here would not be advantageous for us, and so we'll see how the offense does here. Ethan Springer coming out for his first series as a Saint.
Saints will set up shop at the 20-yard line. 3 wideouts to the top of your screen. Springer with the handoff. Through the middle, nice gain on first down as that pile continues to move forward.
Yeah, good run by Russell Knipscher. Good lead, good push by the offensive line. This Brownsburg team normally plays a 4-3, 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers. They did that all last year, and then during the scrimmage they switched to a 3-4. So very interesting change of defense here for them.
Pick up of 5 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 5. First pass, and it goes to the outside. It is caught. Extending to make the play on the far sideline is Minix.
Yeah, beautiful catch by Carter Minix there, and Ethan Springer put it in between 2 different defenders. A really good catch and throw there.
That moves the chains and advances the ball up to the 35-yard line.
On defense, they do have 5 seniors and a couple really good returning defensive linemen and 1 linebacker named Best Dare. Love that name.
Doesn't get any better than that. Here's the counter play on first down. Good for a yard or 2.
Yeah, and that's you'll know this name. That's a Houston Ellinger with the carry there. Good little crossbuck play there. Got him a yard.
2nd and 9 Saints. And a flag before this one. Looks like Bishop Dwenger had some motion.
This will happen a lot early in the year until they get the cadence down. You know, the Saints do have a new offensive coordinator. It's Akeem Kelsaw. He was a wide receiver coach last year. He played football at St. Francis, and he's taken over the duties this year of calling the plays. And we also have Coach Mark Watts back up here in the booth.
That's right.
Helping out.
2nd down play. Run up the middle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long Saints.
Yeah, Knipscher again. Really good hole there by the offensive line. That's a good sign here. We've got 2 senior offensive line, John Paul Henry and Wyatt Tittman, who've been starters for a couple years, and both are captains this year. I love it when offensive linemen are captains. And good surge there by the Saints offensive line.
They'll give him another yard positive, 3rd and 9. 3 wideouts to the bottom of your screen. Rolling this way is Springer, tosses it out. There was some contact there, but it is incomplete.
Yeah.
Looking for Ellinger around midfield.
Little rollout pass. I really thought that he had him, and I thought he was early there, Eric. I'm going to say it first time. I think he was a little early there. But good play by Brownsburg, and we're forced to punt. Contain here. No big plays on the kicking team or the punt team here.
Yep.
Let's get a good bounce.
Braden Aguirre gets it away. It bounces and is picked up at the 22-yard line. And picking his way up to the 30 is number 6. That's Caden Olinger. We'll hear his name as a wide receiver throughout the game as well. He's one of those talented players coming back. You know, for the Bulldogs, it's a luxury. You know, you hate when you have to replace an accomplished quarterback, but when you have the pieces around him, it really helps ease you in. If you've got your star running back, you've got some really solid wideouts around him.
Yeah, good offensive line and a good running back will make the quarterback play a little bit better. Absolutely.
So Jake Dunn at quarterback hardly even got to call his name before. Here's going to put it into the air the first time. He hits Olinger, and he'll cross the 35 up to the 40.
Yeah, good catch and run, just a quick out, 5, and he had some run or some yards after catch there.
Second and short at the the Brownsburg 39-yard line. Olinger shifts to the top of your screen. Here's Dunn. Handoff, ball's on the turf, but Sherrill picks it back up. and is able to get a little bit of positive yards, they'll be just short of a first down.
Yeah, Toby Tippmann coming up from a safety spot made a really good play there on second down, and it looked like he may have broke it there, but he did drop the ball and went right back up into his hands. Big third down here, I would think, for the Saints D, just here early here in the first quarter.
3rd and inches. Sherrill through the middle gets tripped up, but does have enough yardage for the first down.
Yeah, it looked like there was a good surge there by the D-line and kind of fell over the first down there. Got kind of tripped up. He's coming out. His backup, number 20. I got a flag.
Yep. Looked like the Bulldogs drew the Saints off sides, and that'll bring up a 1st and 5. So we talk about the senior Jake Dunn taking over for Jaden Whitaker. Whitaker was the senior quarterback last year for Brownsburg, threw for over 2,500 yards and 18 scores. And here is Dunn in his first real varsity starring action, as that pass is caught for a gain of 15 out to the near side of the field to Corey Smith.
Yeah, Corey's the one that is supposedly got an offer from Minnesota and headed up there, and good catch and pitch there. Trying not to get beat deep, giving him a little bit of cushion right now.
This time Job on the run, takes it around the right side. Nice pickup there, A.J. Job, sophomore running back. Second and 4 Bulldogs. They keep the up-tempo offense here. Ball is snapped, and back into the game is Sherrill. He's going to bulldoze his way for another Bulldog first down.
Yeah, the Brownsburg offensive line just opening up some big holes right now. Their size is just overwhelming sometimes to look down there, and Saints are going to have to come up with something, and hopefully this penalty will help us.
Brownsburg offense got going a little bit too fast there and snapped it before they were entirely set.
You gotta like you got a senior quarterback that kind of paid his dues,
Right.
stayed with the program, and now he's got his opportunity.
He saw action in 8 games last year, but was only 6 for 17 for 42 yards. Passes this one out into the flat, hits his receiver in stride, and that's Olinger, trips himself up on the turf after a short gain.
Yeah, good pressure by the Saints. We had a blitz going on right up the middle. He had to throw it early, good completion, but no big gainer there.
2nd and 8. Rolling to the right, he's got pressure in his face, and down
Nice.
he goes.
Way to go, Trent.
Trent Tippmann, the first Saint on the scene, and he pulls down the quarterback for a sack.
Really good blitz, really timely blitz there. Little rollout to the right, and a good tackle by Trent.
That pushes the ball all the way out to the 34-yard line, 3rd and 15 for Brownsburg.
Yeah, Saints kind of looked like they were going to come again with their inside linebackers. It looks like they're changing the play up here.
High snap, and there was some motion on that one. We're going to march 5 yards back again.
Good disguising of their defense there, upsetting the offensive line of Brownsburg there, getting a penalty.
And a great chance for the Bishop Dwenger defense to hold on this possession. Brownsburg was threatening down inside the 30, and now they've worked their way back out to the 39.
Important to get some pressure, make him throw it quick. Don't give him time to throw it deep here.
Dunn fires across the middle,
Oh,
nearly
good play.
picked off.
Really good play.
Stepping in to make the deflection was Toby Tippmann, and it's going to be 4th down.
He may go for it here. He's looking. The quarterback's still on. Nope, he's going to punt it.
Well, we know the kicker, Porath, has some long range. He can probably hit from 50 plus.
Yeah, they're going to try it.
He's going to line up here at the 46, so this would make it a 56-yarder if he were to connect here. He was 5 for 10 on field goals a year ago. His long was 44, but he has got a leg. And some movement. This might change the decision right here.
The kicker might be mad.
Yeah.
He was just going to try a 56-yarder. Now he's going to punt it.
Yeah, that's one you'd love to have a crack at. If you're a kicker,
if you're a kicker,
you get a chance to set a school record. Yeah. He doubles with the punting duties as well, so that's what they'll line up to do. And Carter Minix is deep for the Saints. Porath boots it away. Good kick. Bounces inside the 10 and is down at about the 3-yard line.
Yeah, really good punt. Good bounce. Carter couldn't do much with that one.
Nope. That's where the Saints will start. We'd like to thank our support from Air X-Ray. Air X-Ray specializes in providing safe and healthy air quality, as well as basement, crawl space, and slab waterproofing solutions for residential homes. Call their experts to improve the health of your home. That's Air X-Ray. Well, you're backed up inside your own 5. You've got a quarterback with not a lot of varsity experience. You figure the Saints are just going to pound the ball and get some breathing room here.
Yeah, a little I formation, old school Dwenger football, and Brownsburg stuffs that pretty good. This is a tough situation for the Saints offense. They got to move this out a little bit to give the punter, if you do have 4th down, to give them a little bit of room to punt. Ideally, you'd love to get a 1st down just to kind of change the field position here. Got to be careful, though, too.
Absolutely. Loss of 1 on the play. So now they're back on the 2-yard line with a 2nd and 11. Springer under center. Handoff, nice hole this time. And here goes Tippmann around the right side. Down the sideline, he's got a couple men behind him, and Tippmann is all the way down to the 40-yard line. That is a 58-yard run by Toby Tippmann.
Yeah, just a great block by the fullback Trent Tippmann. A little crease in the hole, and once Toby got through there, he took off. Very good job by the offensive line and the offense by Dwenger.
How's that for flipping the field?
That'll
work.
That's a complete flip right there with one play.
1st and 10 Saints at the Bulldog 40-yard line. Broken play. Springer's going to tuck it and slide down.
Yep. Again, this sometimes happens in your first game, and quarterback went one way, running back went the other. But Ethan did what you're supposed to do, which is don't lose yards. A lot of yards.
You're right. Only a 1-yard loss on the play. Your score is still 7-0 Bulldogs on top. 4:13 to go in this opening quarter at Shields Field. Man in motion, Springer fakes it. Looking around the left side, has to get rid of it and deflected away. He was draped over the intended receiver on that play, but got his mitt to knock it down as they were trying to hook up with Ben Stegmeyer.
Yeah, trying to hit the tight end over the middle. Good play by Brownsburg. Knocked her down. A big 3rd down here. See if we convert. This is 3rd and longs. These are always tough ones.
They'll need to get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down. Play clock is down to 10. Saints trying to get everyone lined up here. 3, 2, 1, and it hits 0. There's a flag.
Yeah, there wasn't much urgency there from the Saints offense. And as you said, Eric, the play clock had gotten down there. I thought he was going to call timeout, but he did not with this a big 3rd and 15 here. So not yet. See what happens. Again, coach may be thinking, even if we get 10 yards, he may go for it if we're on the other side of the 40.
Right.
So
5 wideouts for the Saints. Here's Springer. Got some pressure, rolls to his right. He'll get rid of it, looking for Minix, but it's picked off at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, this is the old saying, don't throw behind, or as you're sprinting right, don't throw left. And he looks open, but the angle just never is right. And that's a learning experience for Ethan, and he'll get that as the season goes on. But you got to give some kudos to the Saints offense. We were backed up, Eric, and they moved it out of there at least, and gives their defense some room to maneuver back here.
Absolutely. Griffin Simpson with the interception for the Bulldogs. And here comes Dunn and company. Sherrill makes a cut and takes this ball across the 30 to, about the 30-yard line. Sherrill continues to pick up 5, 6, 7 yards with ease, Kevin.
Yeah, we have not had a good surge on the defensive line. We're pretty small up front on the defensive line. They're quick. That will pay dividends sometime down the road. But when you got a big offensive line down like this, it's tough.
2nd and 5, Sherrill again through a hole across the 35-40, and that's where he's wrangled down. Ryan Groves in on the tackle.
Yeah, we may have to switch it up front, take some gambles on stunning our linebackers on run stunts, trying to mix it up.
Quick pass for Dunn, caught at the 35 and up to the 49-yard line goes Caden Olinger. Gain of 9 on first down.
Yeah, with not much disruption right now. We had a nice blitz there, but the quarterback did a very good job of getting rid of the ball, and we got a 2nd and short. This is where you might take a shot deep, and I'd be watching for Corey Smith here.
Instead, they'll hand it through the middle. Sherrill making people miss, and he is into Bishop Dwenger territory at the 40-yard line. We are down inside 2.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Your score still 7-0, courtesy of a Garrett Sherrill 80-yard touchdown scamper on the opening play from scrimmage. Dunn hands it to Sherrill again. Burst of speed around the right side, and this time he's down to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, the offensive line of Brownsburg is very good and just exerting their will right now on our Saints front seven.
They stay with that up-tempo movement on offense. Sherrill, a lot of room to run this time. Cuts inside about the 22.
Yeah, and good tackle there by Michael Pelkington. He may be the first, Eric, nose guard to free safety that we've seen here. So he played nose guard last year as a sophomore. Now he's playing free safety. So
love it.
Heck of a hitter, heck of a tackler. Good tackle there by Michael.
That's some versatility.
Yes, it is.
Dunn fakes it, rolls out, makes a man miss, and this time gets swallowed up and thrown down to the turf by Trent Tippmann.
Good pressure by Lozado, and then Trent cleaned it up and got him down. Good sack. That's a good reaction by the Saints D here.
This is what we saw down on their last drive, driving inside the 30-yard line, and that's when the Saints D stiffened. We'll see if they can do it again. 2nd and 19, Bulldogs. Dunn hands it off. Job cuts it inside. He's going to get down to the 24-yard line. Original line of scrimmage, it's going to be 3rd and 10, Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're getting 5 yards a pop. I'm not sure why he'd even throw it. I'd keep running it here and see if the Saints can even stop him.
Well, that's the one time the Saints defense is getting good penetration is on the play action. Showing blitz.
Yeah, no backfield, five wide.
Dunn looking to throw, made a man miss. He's going to throw to the end zone. Does he come down in bounds? He does. It is a catch, and that is 6 points for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, not bad coverage out there by the Saints, and we had good pressure, and he just stepped side. Very good job by the quarterback, and just stepped to his right, threw it up, and Corey Smith came down with it.
Actually, that was Trey Brown.
Sorry, Trey Brown came down with it.
6'2", 180-pound senior wideout is a big target, and he needed every inch of that to go up and get that ball. Here is the PAT. Porath getting set to boot this one up, and it is good. So with 21 seconds to go in the opening quarter, it is Bulldogs 14 and Saints 0. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maplecrest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their third generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
Back at Shields Field, and since 1982, the DeHaze Group mission has always been about exceeding expectations beyond insurance. Their mission is to provide outstanding levels of service and expertise to bring you the insurance solutions you need. Call DeHaze for all your insurance needs. Well, with 21 ticks left on the clock here in the first quarter, Brownsburg has struck again. 14-0 as Porath puts this one end over end and into the end zone.
He might not have a return all year.
Yeah.
Kid's got a leg, doesn't he?
I think he would have had a shot at that 56-yarder.
I would like to see that, actually.
Yeah. We'll see. He may get another crack later in this game.
All right. The Saints offense has got to reset here and get back to do what they do best and try to run the ball a little bit and give Ethan some time to make some good throws. But I think this is a big drive for the Saints here. Take some time off the clock.
They go trips to the top of your screen, and then they'll hand it off. Gain of maybe 1 on first down. Knipscher had that one, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So after one, your score, Bishop Dwenger 0 and Brownsburg 14. Second quarter action coming up right after this on the Saints Sports Network.
Worco was founded in the late 1960s by my grandfather and a couple of his business associates, and my dad was the president from 1977 till 2010. Our philosophy is if you're not moving forward, then you're going to get left behind. For that reason, we became the pioneers of robotic orbital TIG welding, automated pressure welding. As a family-owned and operated business, we realize that our employees are our most valuable asset. We've invested heavily in them throughout the years, and they've given a lot back to us and to our customers in providing a high-quality product.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Open for their own good.
Yeah, very similar to Dwenger with some cadence things. And, yeah, when you start to speed up the offense, sometimes you don't get set, and that's what happened there with Brownsburg.
And that, in turn, can lead to some pass play.
They slip him out into the flats like that a lot. Good play by Brownsburg there. Good catch by Cameron Edwards.
Second and 6 at the 25-yard line. Here's Dunn. Fires to the sideline through the hands of the intended receiver. That was Corey Smith.
Yeah, good pressure by the Saints. They were trying to do a little wide receiver screen, and he had to throw it a little early and threw it high. So I would suspect that this is 4-down territory, but it's 3rd and 5, so we'll take that for right now.
Smith looked like he may have been trying to turn his head and look downfield.
Yeah, he sure did.
For the run after the catch. Empty backfield for Dunn on 3rd and 6. They need the 19-yard line for a first down. Dunn's got some pressure, gets rid of the football, and skips it to his receiver. It's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, good job again by the Saints, trying to put some pressure on it. He had to throw off his back foot, and yeah, they'll bring their good kicker out here and try this one. Good job by the Saints D.
Defense holds, and Porath is setting up for what would be a 42-yard field goal. So not anything like a 56-yarder, but still a chance to show his leg.
Yes, for sure.
From the far hash, snap is good, hold is good. That one's got the distance, and it is through the uprights. Porath connects, and that gives the Bulldogs a 17-0 lead with 9:57 to go in this second quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Back at Shields Field, 17-0 as Porath connects from 42 yards out. But if you're Bishop Dwenger, you'd chalk that up as a win. That the defense held when the Bulldogs got within striking distance and forced them into 3.
I would suspect this is going to be in the end zone. Nope.
He'll pop it up.
Get a chance.
And here is Minix from the 2-yard line. See if he can get some blocks. He'll make his way up just across the 25-yard line.
Not bad starting spot for the Saints here. See if we can get some continuous first downs here, move this ball.
You'd love to see Minix get his hands on the ball a little bit more. I wonder if they might work him into the backfield at all, or maybe set some wide receiver screens, some way to get the ball into his hands real quick.
No, I'd agree, Eric. He's your best playmaker this year, and you've got to be able to get some plays and get that ball into his hands.
4 wide outs for the Saints. Springer finds Minix, but he has no room to run whatsoever.
Yeah, the DBs for Brownsburg are very, very good. And even he completed that, but they were right on Carter right after that. So we may have to think about some screens or some draws or something to, limit the quickness of Brownsburg's defense.
Minix in motion. They'll hand to Knipschier through the middle. Runs into some stout defenders there, led by 55 Mason Kiefer.
Yeah, Mason's just a junior, and so is the other defensive tackle, Jackson Sargent, both really, really good players on the defensive line. This big play for the Saints offense here. Try to get a first down here.
3rd and 8 from the 27. Knipschier in motion, and Springer runs out of time, and who is it but yet again, big number 55, Kiefer.
Yeah, not much Ethan could do there. He's right on him right away, and not a good series there for the Saints.
Kiefer had a pair of sacks a year ago as a sophomore, added to his total on that play. high punt this time, and running up to make the catch with a full head of steam. That's Olinger around the right side. And the best starting field position of the day for the Bulldogs. They'll set up shop inside the Bishop Dwenger 40-yard line at about the 37.
Yeah, this puts continual pressure on your defense when you have this kind of field position, and Saints got to react here. Be a wall, do something different, make a play, try to stop this one and force a punt.
Dunn corrals the high snap, hands it to Sherrill. Nice bit of running through the Bishop Dwenger defense inside the 5, and finally tripped up at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, really good blocking on the left side, and the H-back, really good block too. Cameron Edwards took out the linebacker, and it was a very nice hole.
They'll snap this ball quickly, and walking into the end zone is Garrett Sherrill for a Brownsburg touchdown. They snapped that ball so quickly, I wasn't even sure if the Saints were all off the field.
I know, really good discipline by Brownsburg, how they rush up there, get set, and keep that momentum going, and the defense really had no chance to reset.
So Sherrill continues to carve up the Bishop Dwenger defense. And that time a pair of runs takes the ball all the way from the 37-yard line into the end zone. Porath adds the PAT, and it is 24-0. Bulldogs over the Saints with 7:50 to go here in this second quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on Saints Sports Network.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Since 1968, Tippmann Groups has been a family-owned business providing that personal touch with all customers. Thank you to the Tippmann Group for supporting our Saints. Saints find themselves in a 24-0 hole here with 7:50 to go in the first half. Spencer Porath boots this one deep, and no chance at a return for Carter Minix. Well, by far the most successful offensive play the Saints have had was that Toby Tippmann run, and I don't think we've seen him touch the rock since that play.
No, he's been playing a lot of defense,
right.
And so I think, with Knipscher back there, they're just kind of limiting his carries. I'm sure throughout the season that he'll get his opportunity to run the ball, but, at this point, it's probably not needed.
Right. Kind of the Devin Tippmann dilemma, where he's so good on defense that you don't want to waste him on offense. Trying to pick his way through the line that time and not finding a hole is the Dwenger running back. That time was 21.
Yeah, and they're playing this, this 3-4, and those linebackers are just flying to the ball. And as soon as the hole opens up, there seems like there's a linebacker right there. So
yeah,
this defense is really good, really fast. This is not, we're going to see some good defenses this year, but this is a really good one.
2nd and 10 Saints. Springer with time to throw this time, zips it and just misses his man. That's Ben Stegmeyer coming across the formation. Looked like a well-placed ball from Springer.
It did. That was the first time where I thought he set his feet and was able to drill it in there, and just could not connect on that one.
So quick 3rd and 10 for the Saints with 7:12 to go in this second quarter. Springer with Knipschier on his shoulder. Going deep down the sideline to Lehrman and overthrows him. Looking to go up top to the big man.
Yeah, not a bad play call there. You got your big man on the outside and well covered, but you hope you get a jump ball just overthrown a little bit.
Right. Caleb Lehrman, the 6'8", 210-pound wide receiver. Aguirre boots another high punt. This one bounces right at the midfield stripe and takes another Bulldog bounce.
It's twice.
Yeah.
It's bounced backwards.
So once again, Brownsburg will start within Bishop Dwenger territory at the 44-yard line. I would like to remind everyone that Bishop Dwenger is celebrating 60 years of Catholic school excellence this year. To celebrate 6 decades of shaping saints, we have many special celebrations coming up throughout the year. Check out our website and follow us on social media for all the details. 1st and 10, Dunn hands off. Sherrill through the middle and picks his way for about 6 yards on 1st down. I think we're looking at one of the better backs in the state, Kevin.
Yeah, he is really, really quick to the hole, isn't he? And on film, it didn't look like how strong he was on film, but man, he is a hard runner.
2nd and 4, Dunn wants to go deep. He does, has a man, and just overthrows him.
Yeah,
that's Corey Smith.
Real good pressure. They had a safety blitz. Pelkington coming up the middle had a good shot on him, and that's their go-to wide receiver there, Corey Smith. So good pressure. That's good team defense there.
We mentioned Smith. I mean, he's their top receiver from a year ago. 40 receptions for 811 yards, averages over 20 yards a reception. So he is a big play guy. And here on 3rd down, they'll go back to the ground. Sherrill picking his way through the middle inside the 30-yard line down to the 26.
He's just got great vision. He is just step-siding tacklers and really good offense here. And this is what Dwenger likes to do, right? They like to run the ball and then play action pass, and it's working tonight.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Dunn sets up the screen. Smith catches it, makes a man miss, and falls forward inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, same play they tried to run earlier, and he overthrew it. This time he catches it, but good job by the Saints there, corralling him, forcing a 3rd down.
Third and 3. Dunn looks back to the sideline. Here's the snap. Design quarterback run around the left side. Has a lot of room inside the 5-yard line before he's ushered out of bounds by Toby Tippmann.
Well, Garrett Terrell, not only can he run the ball, but he can block. That was a really good block on the outside, freeing the quarterback. And, they're at the 5 again here and headed in maybe for another score.
1st and goal. Dunn looks to the end zone, fires towards Smith, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, I don't even think he looked back for the ball there. Good coverage out there. That's Brady O'Keefe guarding the Minnesota recruit. Good job, Brady.
2nd and goal. Sherrill, and he will waltz his way into the end zone for 6. Touchdown Bulldogs. Just so effortless the way he runs. And, of course, we got to give a lot of credit to that O-line as well.
Yeah.
You got some big, big boys up front that are carving a lot of that space for him.
They sure are. They're doing a great job. Not only, you could be big and maybe not be a great blocker, but these guys are big and athletic, and they're making some big holes. Oh, good job.
BAT is blocked.
Saints doing their job on special teams again. That will come back to help us somewhere down the somewhere down the road.
Looked like it might have been Lehrman. 86 got his hand on that one. And that keeps the score at 30-0. Bulldogs over the Saints with 5:28 to go until halftime. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's one-car, two-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the two-car garage/rehearsal space insurance.
Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back, folks. 5:28 to go until the halftime break, and the Bulldogs are exerting their will tonight, 30-0 over the Bishop Dwenger Saints. And this is just a classic matchup, Kevin, of one team just being overmatched by the size and the strength and the speed of this powerful 6A squad.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm sure, a lot of Saints fans are not used to seeing this, right? This is what we've done to a lot of teams for a lot of years. But I'm telling you, this team will compete at the highest level in 6A. And they're very, very good. They're very athletic, very big, and they've got all the right playmakers. So take this a little bit. We're learning. The Saints are learning, and we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine the rest of the year.
And that's really the whole reason why you schedule these games. At Brownsburg, Moeller next week down in Cincinnati, that the Saints Sports Network will be traveling to that game as well. And a good-looking run on first down for the Saints. Nice positive yardage by Russell Knipschier.
You're right, Eric, and you hope, after these two games, and Moeller's going to be difficult as well down there, but then you come back and you play Northside and you say, okay, mentally now as a team playing Northside, you would think that they would feel pretty confident, and then you go play Carroll, and you're like, hey, we've seen these kinds of teams before, so you do. This is not, this is different schedule, and this is why you play the best of the best sometimes, is to get this learning.
Knipschier with a short gain that time brings up a 3rd and 4. Tick down inside, 4.5 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Yeah, the schedule for Bishop Dwenger out of the gate. Pretty daunting with these first two matchups. You mentioned Northside, Carroll, Homestead. So they're going to get a lot of the meat of their schedule early on. And fighting for the extra yards, how about that, is Tippmann. He is going to be very close for a first down. I think he's going to have it.
Yeah, and there's a flag as well. But Toby's carrying 4 Brownsburg tacklers there. No give up in him. They're going to keep fighting. And a face mask. All right.
So the personal foul on top of that is going to move the chains for Bishop Dwenger. Looked like he had just enough for a first down anyway, but they'll tack on the penalty yardage on top of that.
Eric, you look at all the teams here in Fort Wayne and the SAC who they're playing. There's not a lot of teams up here that are being favored to win. So everybody's kind of taking the look. Let's play some some of these Indianapolis teams, these bigger schools, and so I think everybody will be better for it.
Right. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Quick inside give. And a gain of 1 on that play.
I think it was Michael Tippmann or Michael Pilkington there going from free safety to fullback. Guy does it all. I'm sorry, Nick. I keep calling him Mike. It's Nick. Sorry to all the Pilkingtons out there listening. I should know that.
Public apology issued by Kevin Burns. 2nd and 9. 3:10 to go. And here is Springer rolls to his right, running out of space, spun down, and that's going to be a big loss courtesy of that Bulldog blitz.
Yeah, just nowhere to go for Ethan. He couldn't even set up, and good pressure by Brownsburg there.
Well, we talk about starting the season with some tough matchups, Kevin. You think about in past years, Bishop Dwenger for 7 straight years opened with Wayne, North, and South. And in 6 of those 7 years, they started 3-0. But we always wondered, how good are we?
Right.
Because when you're going against some of the lower teams in the SAC, you don't know. And so if you're going to say, well, what's going to prepare Dwenger better for the postseason? Is it playing Southside and Wayne early in the year, or is it playing teams like Brownsburg and Moeller? And I think the answer, and from Coach Jason Garrett's pretty clear when he chose to schedule these opponents.
Absolutely. I think the motto was, we'll play anywhere, anytime. And these teams, Moeller's is good too. So, but you're right, Eric. This just leads to at the end of the season, not so much the beginning of the season. Now you can argue, should we try to maybe play somewhere in 5A, someone that's maybe a little bit closer to us in enrollment versus these 6A teams, and maybe traveling to Moeller. But how about the experience for the kids? Get to go on a road trip down to Cincinnati, and I think that's all good as part of your program. And this will pay dividends. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but it will pay dividends at the end of the year.
Well, you get the experience of the travel to a game, which of course is kind of helps simulate a trip to state. And then you play a really good program. And by the way, they'll be playing on a college university field. Big hit that time. And that one, they're going to try to take it to the house, but that ball bounced off the turf.
It sure did. Yeah, I'm trying to do a little middle screen and set up right, but the linebacker read it well.
Yeah.
Big hit.
So, yeah, as we were saying, that game against Moeller next week is being played at Mount St. Joseph University. So they'll get to play in a college university atmosphere against not only one of the best teams in Ohio, but one of the best teams in the country in Cincinnati Moeller. That punt down at the 26-yard line with 2:08 to go. And we'll see if the Bulldogs bring out their 2-minute offense to try to punch one more in before the halftime break. Bulldogs offense back out onto the field. They'll mark it at the 27-yard line. Dunn's got 3 wide outs, 2 to the top of your screen. And he's got all day to throw. Chucks it down the sideline. Corey Smith is streaking and just missed that one. I thought he might lay out for that catch. It looked like it might have been within his reach.
Went for the home run there. And Corey Smith had a couple steps on our defenders, but no connection. In the paper, Eric, it's just an incompletion.
Yeah. Dunn and Smith have had a couple near misses on the deep post patterns. This time a short pattern to Smith, and it goes through his hands. Another incompletion, and we're up to a 3rd and 10 with 2 minutes to go. And now the Saints might be thinking, hey, let's get the ball back.
Yeah, a little sophomore out there, Dylan Tittman with good coverage there, making a good hit. Of course, Dylan's filling in for Max Carey tonight.
Here comes Christian Lozada. Lozada takes down Dunn in the backfield. Big sack for the Saints. And we'll see if, Coach Garrett running up to the referee to call timeout with 1:48 to go and preserve some clock here. The Saints are going to get the ball back.
Really good pressure there by Christian Lozada. And you got to love the fact they're not giving up, Eric. They're still playing hard and coming after them. And This is where the learning begins, or is taken.
Saints have waited all summer to be able to go out there and hit somebody in pads. It's not a gold helmet, so you better believe they'll be ready to go. So 1:47 to go. Saints offense will get a crack at this. Of course, Carter Minix is first going to get a crack at the punt return. So we'll see if he can make something happen. If not, you've got Springer out there, and you're thinking 2-minute drill.
Yeah,
try to get the ball out quick. You still
right.
have 2 timeouts left, and hopefully good field position after this punt. So you got a lot of things going for the Saints if they want to try to punch one in before the halftime break. Minix is standing back at the 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Pressure gets through, and the ball's deflected. It is partially blocked and then picked up by the up man at the 35-yard line.
Good job, Saints.
How about that?
Special teams, right? A blocked extra point, a blocked punt.
That may have been Lozada. He's getting a lot of high fives on the sideline. Excellent penetration there by the senior captain. Gets the sack and very well may have had that deflection as well. So the Saints with outstanding field position. They'll start at the Bulldog 31-yard line. 1:38 and 2 timeouts. Got
just to get a positive play here.
Yeah. Springer fires it right
to the big guy.
He's got one-on-one coverage there, incomplete. A little bit of hand fighting there, but they'll say no flag on the play.
Yeah, pretty good coverage, and not a bad shot down the field, though.
Right.
That's where you want to get it to.
Trying to find Lehrman. Lehrman is he's got the height. He might not have the breakaway speed there. So if Springer puts that ball a little bit with some more touch and not quite as deep, he might have had a chance to go up and get it. This time looking left, now rolling to his right. Trying to catch a block there, and he will not escape. Springer goes down at the 40-yard line. Clock still running at 1:18 to go.
Yeah, this is where also you don't want to give the ball back to them either.
Exactly.
So this is where you may want to slow down, maybe huddle up, and see, 3rd and long here.
Yeah, 3rd and 19. They need to get to the 21-yard line. We're now inside a minute. Springer rolls left, fires it to Minix, trying to make a man miss, but cannot do so. Good for a gain of 3, but well short.
Yeah, good. Excellent coverage by Brownsburg. No separation at all for receivers. They always have someone on them. It's really good defense, backfield play.
So you've got the play clock at 30. The game clock at 30, play clock at 23. 7-second differential. I think you might as well let it tick down, call the timeout, and then maybe have one last chuck at the end zone.
I would agree,
to
Eric.
end the half.
I think that's what he's going to do here. Coach Garrett right by the referee.
And they call the timeout there. Clock ticks off a little bit more afterwards, but
it's the first game, Eric.
That's right.
Everybody's got a little.
There's a learning
learner curve going on.
Us included. So
us included.
6.4 is where the clock stops. And so the Saints are going to set up on a 4th and 16, but more importantly, it's going to be, for all intents and purposes, the final play of the half. So you've got the ball in the 37. It's kind of the Hail Mary type of situation, but you've got the size and the height with Lehrman. That would be the natural choice to go to. We'll see what the Saints draw up, though.
I'll see, how they come out in their formation. And, if you're Brownsburg, I'd be putting 2 guys on Lehrman.
Yeah.
And worrying about everybody else. So I'm sure they'll split Lehrman out by himself, hopefully, trying to get single coverage. But
that's what they do. He's at the bottom of your screen. Up at the top for the Saints, you've got Owen Zimmerman. Carter Minix, part of that trips package. And here we go, trying to buy some time. Springer, he's going to run out of time and go down at the 40-yard line. That's the other thing. If you want to try to get a deep passing game going,
you've got to
give
him some time.
Got to get the time from the O-line, and that is a tall task with that front seven from the Bulldogs. So the first half will come to an end. Your score, well, no, I take it back. They stopped the clock with .9.
They sure did. Now, this is where we want to make sure nothing goofy happens, right?
I would assume the Bulldogs are going to come out and take a knee. But that's a long huddle for a knee.
No kidding. I would get two guys over there on number 12, Corey Smith.
Well, Dunn's not under center, but let's see. He is going to look to throw. Fires it, quick crossing pattern. Some room to run and trying to make a man miss near the 40-yard line. So that one goes nowhere, but it is a nice little pickup on the catch by Caden Olinger. And that's going to bring the first half to a close. Your score, the visiting Brownsburg Bulldogs 30 and the Bishop Dwenger Saints 0. Here in the opening game of the 2023 high school football season. We're going to take a break and be back with the halftime presentation right here on the Saints Sports Network.
The Bishop Dwenger Spirit Shop is your home for all official saintly swag. With new items arriving weekly, the Spirit Shop has something for everyone. From uniforms and accessories to gifts and game gear, the Spirit Shop can outfit the entire Dwenger family for any season. Located on campus in the gymnasium, we are open Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. or online anytime. Support your Saints in style and visit the Bishop Dwenger Spirit Shop.
Tippmann Group is a family-owned business that's proud to call Fort Wayne home. We build cold storage facilities all around the United States, run one of the largest cold storage companies in the nation, and lease office space in Fort Wayne, like inside the Lincoln Tower.
Hi, I'm John Tippmann, president of Tippmann Group, and our family has been part of the Bishop Dwenger family for many years. We are a proud supporter of Dwenger Athletics. Go Saints!
Are you stressed due to your financial situation? Is debt ruining your marriage or relationships? Are you having a hard time making ends meet? We can help. SMA is a preferred Ramsey coaching consultancy that offers insights, strategies, and a pathway forward to financial freedom. Real advice, personalized solutions, and a real way to find peace and grow your bottom line. We offer a free initial consultation and a variety of plans to move forward. We don't judge, we help. SMA Incorporated, offering peace to the financially stressed.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance.
We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance.
And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Join us for our 60th anniversary homecoming festivities. Don't miss food trucks, the Black Hawk helicopter, and post-game fireworks at the homecoming celebration when the Saints take on the Homestead Spartans on September 15th right here at Shields Field. That's going to be fun. Post-game fireworks included. Wow. Quite the experience. So it is halftime here at Shields Field, and the Bishop Dwenger Saints trail the Bulldogs of Brownsburg 30-0, and it has been a one-sided affair. And Kevin, to be honest, this is what we somewhat expected when you have this 6A power coming into town here. The fact that the Saints are going to be out-muscled a lot at the line and just outmatched across the board. But what's been particularly impressive to me about the Bulldogs, I think, has been the run game, of course. But you've also got a quarterback in Dunn who's come in and really kept us, level-headed. They've mixed in the run and the pass and kept things balanced, and that's really kept the Bishop Dwenger defense on their toes.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard when when you're watching the scrimmage stuff, and they're playing Center Grove actually, and Center Grove is a 3-time 6A defending champs. But I'm very impressed with their offensive line and super impressed with their running back. He's as advertised and a stronger runner than he looks sometimes on video. And to your point, Eric, the times they've had to throw the ball, he's been on money too. So really they have the whole package. Very confident quarterback. They have a very phenomenal runner and a good offensive line. Oh, by the way, they've got a Division I wide receiver as well on the outside that hasn't done anything quite yet tonight, but certainly stretches the defense to a max. You can never not count that guy out, right?
Yeah.
You got to make adjustments for that kind of receiver. So they are as advertised, Eric, and I would suspect that they're going to have a very good year this year playing in that conference.
And we talked about Bishop Dwenger scheduling these, hard opponents, these really challenging opponents right out of the gate. Honestly, that's what Brownsburg has been doing for years, and that's one of the things that's helped them become a successful program. You look back the last 4 seasons, Brownsburg, because of the way their conference has been set up in the Hoosier Crossroads, they always have those first 2 games as non-conference games. And here's the 3 teams that they've scheduled, Kevin. Over the last 4 years, they've been playing some combination of Ben Davis, Cathedral, and St. Xavier out of Cincinnati.
Right.
So, I mean, that's – you want to
so
talk
they've taken the same strategy, right?
They have, absolutely, and they've gone 6-2 in those 8 games.
Right.
So really, really impressive non-conference schedule there. And as I said, that's one of the things that's paid dividends for Brownsburg in helping to establish the program that they are. You mentioned what the success they've had under their coach. When you look at their 7 seasons under head coach John Hart, they've had over 7 wins every single year. They've had a couple 10-win seasons, including last year, and 2 sectional titles the last 2 years. So, that's a big component to that success, is getting battle-tested, getting those early season challenges, and pushing your kids to the max every moment you get.
And that's in an area of Indiana where you've got a lot of good, 6A teams all around, right? So you're always playing 6A teams. There's not very often where they're not doing that. So it's an impressive program, and Coach Hart has done a phenomenal job of building this program, and they've got some talent. I'm telling you, This is a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about Garrett Sherrill, but a guy that's coming in with, he had a 1,000-yard season last year. He's got over 2,000 yards in his career, and all that seasoning and experience shows tonight. That is for sure. Well, I think what we want to do now is take a look at some of the other action that's going on tonight. It's really an exciting night if you're a high school football fan, especially in the SAC, just because of the new wrinkles that you get with these non-conference games. And a lot of the teams have been taking the same approach in scheduling some challenging opponents. Kevin, let's take a look at some of the teams and talk about some of the scores out there.
Yeah, I would think the first one I would look at is Carroll Chargers playing Hamilton Southeastern. And right now it looks like at half the Chargers are down 14-0. Not so surprising that Hamilton Southeastern scored 14 points, but I think it's that the Chargers haven't scored at all.
Yeah.
With that kind of offense that they have there. Another interesting one is the Homestead Spartans hanging tough with the Carmel Greyhounds, 7-7 at half, and then I think one that New Haven is just taking it to the Northrop Bruins, 35-0 at half. And this is one that you and Eric, we talked about, maybe very interesting game, but East Noble 17 and Bishop Luers 7. And you got to love Southside. This is where this has really helped teams like Southside. They're beating Marion right now 14-0 at half. So your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, that's the other end of the spectrum. You have teams like, the Dwengers, the Snyders, the Carrolls that want to challenge, that want to schedule some upper echelon teams in the state so that they don't have games where they're playing, teams that they're far superior to. It's those games when you're playing, the bottom half of the conference, a lot of the smaller schools, where some of the big schools, you don't learn as much, and sometimes you can even get away with some bad habits that show up later in the season. So it's advantageous for the big schools to get to schedule other schools their size, but on the flip side, for a team like Southside, they get the chance to schedule some teams that are at their skill level, at their size, so they get a realistic look at, hey, what's the postseason competition going to look like? Let's get a chance to play some teams of our caliber and see where we stack up, because you don't really get a chance to see that if all you're playing is the schools that are so much bigger than you all season long.
And just one other one, Snyder Panthers 14-8 in the second quarter with Warren Central, another big 6A team down in Indy. So very interesting scores going on right now. And, outside of this game, the New Haven game, and East Noble just won up 24-7 on Bishop Luers. So interesting. That's not where I thought some of those would go, and certainly didn't think this one would be where it is now. But, Snyder hanging in there.
Yeah, and you also look at the Northside Legends, who have been, pumped up a lot all summer long, and, especially with the likes of Tay Johnson, the Notre Dame commit. And right now they're trailing the Northridge Raiders 9-7. Now, I think I heard that Tay was doubtful for tonight.
Yeah, so I think he's got some some kind of ankle issue.
Yeah.
Not serious at all, but he's not playing tonight. 9-7 there, Northridge and Northside.
Right. Some of these teams, when we talk about big 6A schools, just to give you an idea of how big we're talking in enrollment size, a team like Brownsburg comes in, they're the 14th biggest school in the state in terms of enrollment. And when you compare that to Bishop Dwenger, they've got over 3 times the enrollment of Bishop Dwenger. So when you're talking about playing a big team, that's what we're talking about. Not just a team with, a couple hundred more kids, but this is over 3 times the enrollment.
Right, and, when you look at Brownsburg's depth chart, there's no two-way players. Right. There is nobody on their defense that is playing offense. Very little time is there someone who, I think there was one player that potentially was in the 2 deep on both offense and defense. And this is a big difference because Dwenger has multiple kids that have to play both ways just from a numbers game. So, but again, that's, that wasn't coach's strategy, and the staff strategy is say, let's go play the best, get better. Learn from it, and but this Brownsburg team is pretty dang good.
That they are, and they'll be tested throughout the season. Of course, they, in addition to Dwenger, next week they'll get to host Cathedral. So another big test for Brownsburg before they hop into their conference schedule. And the conference schedule they play is in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. That is a lot of people consider that the second best conference in the state, behind the MIC in Indianapolis. You got teams like Zionsville, which, Bishop Dwenger fans are familiar with the Zionsville squad, Fishers, Westfield, and, of course, Hamilton Southeastern that we've already talked about. And they're all 6A schools. So, it's just the gauntlet. And it's prepared Brownsburg well for the postseason, and the Saints are hoping to use the same formula this year as well.
Well, absolutely. I think Westfield actually was 5A in that conference, and sometimes you looked at their record and you're like, oh my gosh, they lost, 4 games. But, once they got into the tournament, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they made it to the finals a couple years in a row, and a lot of that had to do with what they were doing during the regular season, playing these big 6A teams.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and step aside as the teams start to make their way back onto the field to get ready for the second half and take a break. Get ready to start up this third quarter of action here at Shields Field. Once again, your halftime score, Brownsburg 30 and Bishop Dwenger 0. You're watching.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maple Crest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their third generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981.
Worco was founded in the late 1960s by my grandfather and a couple of his business associates, and my dad was the president from 1977 till 2010. Our philosophy is if you're not moving forward, then you're going to get left behind. For that reason, we became the pioneers of robotic orbital TIG welding, automated pressure welding. As a family-owned and operated business, we realize that our employees are our most valuable asset. We've invested heavily in them throughout the years, and they've given a lot back to us and to our customers in providing a high-quality product.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903. Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's one-car, two-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the two-car garage/rehearsal space insurance.
Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their two-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance.
We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance.
And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Tippmann Group is a family-owned business that's proud to call Fort Wayne home. We build cold storage facilities all around the United States, run one of the largest cold storage companies in the nation, and lease office space in Fort Wayne, like inside the Lincoln Tower.
Hi, I'm John Tippmann, president of Tippmann Group, and our family has been part of the Bishop Dwenger family for many years. We are a proud supporter of Dwenger Athletics. Go Saints!
Are you stressed due to your financial situation? Is debt ruining your marriage or relationships? Are you having a hard time making ends meet? We can help. SMA is a preferred Ramsey coaching consultancy that offers insights, strategies, and a pathway forward to financial freedom. Real advice, personalized solutions, and a real way to find peace and grow your bottom line. We offer a free initial consultation and a variety of plans to move forward. We don't judge, we help. SMA Incorporated, offering peace to the financially stressed.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Third quarter, moments away from getting kicked off here, and the Bishop Dwenger faithful on their feet. We've got a good crowd out here, Kevin. We've got temperatures in the mid-60s right now and getting chillier as we speak.
Right.
Just an unseasonably cool. I mean, this feels like late October right now.
No kidding. That's not your normal August weather at all. Good football weather. Great football weather.
Oh, yeah. So the Saints are going to get the ball to start this second half. They deferred off the opening coin flip. And we'll see if Carter Minix gets a chance to return this kick. Spencer Porath boots this one away, and it's going to be another touchback out the back of the end zone. As we look at some of the scores from around, just an update from that East Noble Lures game. The Knights are winning. No, I'm just kidding. That's a bad joke. They're both the Knights. 31-7 though. East Noble.
You had that one in the bag, waiting to bring that one out.
Oldest trick in the book. I should know better than to do that. But no, 31-7. East Noble has opened up a nice lead over Bishop Lures. First down, a run for the Saints. Another short gain. Looked like Knipshear, I believe. Yep. Getting up from the bottom of the pile. So pickup of 1 on first down. Saints keep some up-tempo offense going here. Now they'll spread it out with trips to the bottom of your screen. Springer hands it off again. This time, gain of 2 for Knipshear up to the 23.
Both inside runs, nothing outside, trying to go between the tackles.
Yeah, just so much speed on the outside of that Brownsburg defense. The secondary, I mean, you've talked throughout the night, the receivers just cannot outrun them. 3rd and 7 for the Saints. Blitz off the corner. They'll throw in that direction. Minix has the catch and looks like he has the first down as well.
Yes, good pitch and catch there. Good pickup on the blitz. Outside linebacker came on a blitz. Good pickup. And really good throw by Ethan there.
Yeah. Well, and it was throwing to the right spot because that's right where the man who blitzed came from. So there was a little opening in the defense. And Minix got comfortable there. Springer found him. Saints move the chains. Here's a first down. That time, no room for Knipshear to run. Just back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it looks like they have a hole, but then as soon as he hits it, the linebackers are just filling, and we can't get to the second level blocking. And that a lot has to do with the 3 down linemen really being tough on our offensive line.
2nd and 10. Here's the snap, stepping up into the pocket and just chucking a sidearm and a diving catch up at the 40-yard line. How about that? Xavier Garrett.
Wow, Ethan Springer eluding the rush and zipping it. I mean, that was a sidearm whip and a beautiful catch.
Yeah, I was waiting for the Patrick Mahomes reference there on the sidearm flick of the wrist. That is good for another first down. Looked like an offside.
Yeah, he was. He saw daylight, the outside linebacker, and now he's going to come off and talk to coach. Well, we got him.
Looked like he tried to guess on the snap count and guessed wrong. So the Saints getting some positive movements here. They picked up 2 first downs, both through the air, and now 5 yards via penalty. They've got a 1st and 5 at their own 45-yard line. Man in motion. Springer, again with pressure, trying to elude it, throws into no man's land, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, good. There was no receiver over there, but maybe he was outside the box,
yeah,
so we're
I think
okay.
that's what,
yeah, but good job by Ethan. No sack there.
Yep.
And got rid of the ball.
Yeah, really heads-up play. His decision-making, I think, has been very good tonight, trying to do the best he can with the limited time he has before the rush gets to him. This time handoff. Knipscher with some nice running room. Got a block inside the 45-yard line and down near the 40.
Yeah, really good blocking on the right side there for the Dwenger Saints. And boy, did Knipscher hit the hole hard that time. Really quick. No reaction that time by the linebackers.
Gain of 14 yards on the rush and another Bishop Dwenger first down. Saints have been in Bulldog territory a handful of times tonight, but have yet to come away with any points. Here is Springer. Chucks it deep, looking for Lehrman. Has the separation. Catches it. Dives for the pylon. It's a touchdown. Caleb Lehrman did an outstanding job of bringing that ball in. And then as he was falling out of bounds, reached out, touched the pylon. And that's 6 points for the Saints.
Yeah, and a beautiful throw by Ethan. Put it where no one else could catch it.
Right.
But Caleb, and then a good run after the catch for Lehrman for a touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like he initially bobbled it, but corralled it just in time to reach out for the pylon. Here is the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. So with a 9:05 to go in the third quarter, the Saints are on the board. Coach Garrett is fired up out on the field, giving high fives and chest bumps. It feels good to get on the board. Your score, Bishop Dwenger 7, Brownsburg 30 in this third quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network. We are back at Shields Field. The Bishop Dwenger Saints have striked in this third quarter on a touchdown pass from Ethan Springer to Caleb Lehrman to cap off what was really a well-designed and balanced drive by the Saints.
Yeah, a couple really good runs in there, a couple really good maneuvering by Ethan Springer, throwing some passes there, and then just a beautiful long pass to Caleb Lehrman for the score.
Yep.
It's got to make you feel good. Come on at halftime and put a drive together like that.
Kickoff, dribbles towards the sideline, and boy, that was about 2 feet away from being an outstanding kick. Instead, it's going to go outside, inside the 1 yard line. That's the type of thing you want to do on a punt, but not on a kickoff.
Right. 6 inches more, and it goes in the end zone. And but unfortunately, they'll get the ball at the 35, I think.
I believe. Yeah, 35-yard line. In the pros, it's the 40, but.
Oh, they're going to make them kick it again.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's up to the discretion of the team if they want to accept the penalty or have them re-kick. So they want another shot at a kick return. Place kicker for the Saints is a sophomore, Lucas Nguyen. So they assess that 5 yards on the penalty and a re-kick.
Well, Saints going to have to do a good job here. I think we're going to get a return here. We're going to have to cover
Yeah.
pretty well here.
End over end kick fielded at the 10-yard line.
Oh, great
and the
job.
first man
Oh,
there, the
fumble.
ball is out. That is a loose ball, and we'll see who's at the bottom of the pile. Saints say they have it.
Big hit by Trent.
No,
Tippmann.
they do not. So Brownsburg maintains possession.
Wow. That would have been a big turn of events there,
Yeah.
Eric, if the Saints were able to get up, get that fumble. But big hit by Trent Tippmann, and you could kind of feel the energy back into the Dwenger team right now.
Trent looks like he's still maintaining that the Bishop Dwenger had that recovery, but referees do not agree.
You got to love his passion.
Oh, yeah. Hand off to Sherrill on first down. Stiff arms a defender into the turf and then steps out of bounds after a pickup of 5.
Yeah, that time he couldn't turn the corner. We kept stringing it out, but he still got 5 yards on first down. I think we got a Saint down.
Yep. Right out on that far side where the tackle was made. So the medical staff attends to him, and we will step aside. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network. Great sign for Saints fans. The injured Saint, Toby Tippmann, able to jog off the field under his own power. That would have been a big blow for Bishop Dwenger. He's one of your leaders.
Great to see him get up and jog off. So I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, maybe had the wind knocked out of him or something like that. So after the pickup of 4 yards, it'll be 2nd and 6 Bulldogs. They'll hand it off again, and this time, big full head of steam. And Sherrill has had to be thrown out of bounds by a host of Saints after a big pickup across the 40-yard line.
Saints still flying to the football, though, and a little bit overmatched on the defensive line, but we got linebackers flying everywhere, and if there was a strength of our defense, it's our linebackers, man. They are so active.
1st and 10 from the 43. This time, nice pursuit there by the Saints, not allowing much of anything on the ground.
Christian Lozado sticking his nose in there. Good play by the Saints D there.
They limit Sherrill's run to 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7. Still plenty of time in this ball game. 8:15 to go in this third quarter. Dunn wants to go deep down the middle, has a man, hits him in stride, and he is going to walk into the end zone. A perfect pitch and catch to Caden Olinger for 6 points.
Yeah, really good play design there that really tests the safeties. You've got 2 outside going deep, and then you throw one right down the middle, and that puts a lot of pressure on your back end of your defense. And as much energy as the offense had, that kind of takes it right out of your defense when you give a big play up like that.
Well, I tell you what, Jake Dunn had he had a couple of those throws in the first half. He was just waiting to uncork one of those and hit the receiver in stride, and that time
one was
did.
on the money.
PAT is good as well. That makes your score 37-7. The Bulldogs over the Saints here in this third quarter. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Worco was founded in the late 1960s by my grandfather and a couple of his business associates, and my dad was the president from 1977 till 2010. Our philosophy is if you're not moving forward, then you're going to get left behind. For that reason, we became the pioneers of robotic orbital TIG welding, automated pressure welding. As a family-owned and operated business, we realize that our employees are our most valuable asset. We've invested heavily in them throughout the years, and they've given a lot back to us and to our customers in providing a high-quality product.
Quick strike offense for the Bulldogs puts them up 37-7 off of the perfect pass from Jake Dunn to Caden Olinger. So the Saints offense will get another crack at it. And that kick is well out the back of the end zone. Didn't even bounce until the end line.
Yeah, and our quick update on scores. Carroll Chargers just scored, so it's 14-7 there. But Bishop Lures Knights taking it on the chin just like we are. They're at 38-7 tonight out at East Noble.
And Snyder's extended their lead 21-8 over Warren Central.
Right.
That's impressive. So Ethan Springer and company on a 1st and 10. Inside handoff. And maybe lost about a foot on that play.
See if we can try to keep this momentum with the offense. See if we can drive down, kind of shift this field position a little bit.
Second and 11. Springer has to get rid of this football. Does a good job of doing so, but had no time to get it to the intended receiver at the top of the screen.
Yeah, did a good job again, not taking a sack and getting outside the tackle box and throwing it away. You know, speaking of the Lures score, though, you know, when you think about it, they're similar, right? East Noble's in a 4A school. And,
right.
You know, Lures is a 2A school, so the enrollments are totally different. Yeah, they had Brownsburg taking a timeout. They didn't have enough guys on the field.
So they'll burn a timeout there, and we will take a timeout as well. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Saints facing a 3rd and 11 out of the Brownsburg timeout. 7:25 to go in the third quarter. 3 wideouts to the bottom of your screen. Springer looks towards the top, fires, and it is caught. Caught by Carter Minix up at the top. And he's about a yard short of the first down. I thought for a second the defender might have came in there to pick it off, but
he stuck it in there.
Yeah,
really,
he
you know,
did.
he had some time there, Eric, and was able to set his feet
and delivered a good ball.
Delivered a really good ball. Again, Carter Minix on a great catch as well. Very
It's
small
gonna bring up
window.
a 4th and 1. Yeah,
4th and 1. This is good. This is a good test.
Yep.
See what we can do on 4th and 1. This is a good. Obviously, got to do this for Coach Garrett. Even on our side of the 50.
Yeah, You have to prepare yourself for these situations later in the season when it you might have a game riding on it, and they're going to call a timeout and talk things over.
Yeah, I don't think they had all their correct personnel out there, so they took a timeout. Make sure they got everybody there.
So timeout Saints. We'll keep it right here. As we look at the look ahead at some of the Week 2 matchups for the SAC teams outside of conference. So tonight we see Warren Central right now trailing Snyder. Next week they will host Carroll. So they're playing a pair of SAC teams right out the gate, and that'll be interesting for Carroll. Of course, playing Hamilton Southeastern tonight for Carroll is not only a big test, but it's also a rematch of the semi-state game in 6A last year, where Carroll snuck by Hamilton Southeastern and en route to a berth in the 6A state title game. You've got Homestead playing Carmel tonight. They will travel to Noblesville in Week 2. And we mentioned the East Noble Knights hosting Lures tonight. They will again host next week the Snyder Panthers. So that's an interesting one for Snyder, playing up at 6A Warren Central and then down to 4A East Noble. Here is the fourth down rush for the Saints. They get a nice push.
Nice.
And that's going to be a first down for Bishop Dwenger. That pile pushed forward a full 3 yards and moved the chains. I couldn't tell who had the ball in there. But
I think it was a quarterback sneak, and then the running backs come running in and push the pile.
So 1st and 10 Saints at the 33-yard line. Inside 7 minutes in this third quarter. Lehrman at the bottom of your screen. Got Owen Zimmerman on that side as well. Now Zimmerman in motion. They'll hand it to him. Reverse. Here comes a trick play. The pass.
Oh, nice.
It is caught. Getting a block at about the 50-yard line, and across the midfield stripe goes Garrett. Xavier Garrett on the receiving end of that little trickeration by Bishop Dwenger.
Looking like a reverse run, and then the very nice pass out to Xavier Garrett, and they took Lehrman long, took the guy deep, and opened up the underneath. Good play call, good execution.
Yeah. Garrett's had a couple nice catches here in this game. So 1st and 10 Saints across the midfield stripe at the 49-yard line. Again, the Saints able to push the pile forward and pick up a couple yards.
Yeah, you've got to be very encouraged by what we're seeing here with the offense here in the second half. Really good energy, getting good pushes, executing on some pass plays.
Well, and we'd heard from some of the Dwenger coaches that this Saints squad is among the most well-conditioned that they've had. So as this game stretches into the third quarter, the fourth quarter, really positive sign to see those guys, especially up front, still going strong. Springer wants to fire it deep again, looking for Minix, and that time overthrows the senior wideout.
Yeah, just not a good connection there, but I'll tell you what, there wasn't much separation there with the DB, with Carter anyway. So probably good that it was long.
Yeah.
But it's always good to test deep, try to open up something, keep them honest on the back end. And again, we'll have times this year where we've got our own mismatch out there, and we're going to connect on that.
Still only a couple touches tonight for Minix. They've kept him bottled up pretty well. I think that was definitely part of the Brownsburg game plan. Springer got pressure up the middle, has to just chuck this one away, and again, safely gets rid of the football.
Yeah, you can really tell when Ethan has this time to set his feet, he throws a really nice ball. But, you put some pressure on him, and he's not the fastest quarterback out there, but he's making great decisions tonight, Eric.
Well, and that's one of the things. If you look at the stats after this game, and his completion percentage might be pretty low, but that's because he's gotten rid of a lot of these footballs
Correct.
instead of taking sacks.
A lot of pressure, right.
Trying to rush up and get this snap off in time, and I don't think they will. They did have some motion there as well when they tried to snap it.
Yeah,
it looked like pick your poison, false start, or delay game.
Right. The timing just wasn't there yet.
Yep, going to be a motion penalty, so that will back him up. So I believe it already was 4th down. But now instead of a 4th and 8, it's going to be a 4th and 13. And they'll bring in the punting unit for that. So that brings out the junior punter, Braden Aguirre. Goes down to get that one, boots it away, and that's a nice
really good punt.
It's going to be fielded back at the 15-yard line.
Good job.
And the coverage is there. Saints keep Olinger bottled up for a minimal return.
Cruz Rolfe, really good job containing.
Yeah.
Good tackle down there on special teams. That's what we talk about. You get your shot, do your job, and he did that on that punt return or punt coverage.
So the Bulldogs will take over at the 27-yard line. They lead by 30 here with 5:17 to go in the third quarter. Jake Dunn now has got a man in motion. Fires this one out, has a wide open man.
Good tackle out there.
Yep. Corey Smith makes the catch, but no room to run afterwards.
No, Brady O'Keefe, again, given some cushion, which we understand, but when you do that, you got to come up and make a tackle.
Yeah.
And he did that time. Really impressed with Dunn, though, Eric. I mean,
yeah. Sherrill on 2nd down picks up about 5, and that is enough for a Bulldog first down.
I think if there's any concern on the Brownsburg side about, hey, we have to replace a very good quarterback, I think those were answered tonight.
Yeah. And that really was the one question mark for Brownsburg. They had returnees at pretty much all the skill positions. Dunn going deep again, and there's going to be a flag. So they're probably going to flag Bishop Dwenger on that one. Coverage on the play was Ryan Groves, and there was some contact that slowed down the receiver.
Yeah, and remember in high school, it's not where the foul happens. It's just a 15-yard penalty. So sometimes as a DB, if you're getting beat, it's okay. Grab a dirt jersey.
The lesser of two evils.
Yes.
So they'll call that one holding as opposed to pass interference. Good for a first down. So ball placed at the Bishop Dwenger 49-yard line, 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Here's Dunn, got pressure up the middle. Trent Tippmann can't get to him, and Dunn does an outstanding job of tucking, running, and picking up positive yards.
Really good pressure by Trent. I know he's probably frustrated that he didn't get him, but pretty good job by Dunn eluding the rush there and making something positive happen. But good blitz package there and good pressure by Trent.
Trent almost came up too fast because he didn't have the vertical or the lateral ability to turn and catch. And we've got a pickup here for another first down. We've got some new jerseys in there. That's number 36, Michael Waye, 5'7" senior. And also in at quarterback, Oscar Fry, freshman quarterback for the Bulldogs. Six foot, $155. Fires that one out to the far sideline up at the 30. And that is good for a pickup of 8. So we might have seen the last.
That's not a misprint. That's a freshman.
Yeah.
That's not a misprint.
Right.
Well, he winged it out there pretty
he sure
good.
Did. Fired that one a little too low.
Yeah, good defense by the Saints there. Again, good pressure by Trent Tippmann up the middle. But, yeah, I mean, Oscar Fry, 6 foot 155 freshman. He's the second. I mean, he's the backup in.
Yeah.
Too deep.
Yeah, we may have seen the last of a lot of those faces that have been having their way with the Saints defense tonight, but plug and play. Third down is converted inside the 20-yard line.
You know, very efficient offense as well from Brownsburg. Not a lot of mistakes, meaning no turnovers, no fumbles.
Yeah.
They had a couple penalties there that stopped a drive.
Fry to the end zone. It is hauled in. Did he maintain the catch? He did. How about that? The freshman in his first varsity game tosses a touchdown pass, and Corey Smith hauls it in. Well, I think you could say the future is bright for the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
I would say so. You got a freshman quarterback, came and just went 2 for 3 and threw a touchdown.
Here's the PAT. It is up and it is good. And now with the score 43 or 44-7, we now have the running the running clock rule is now into effect. So for the rest of this ball game, of course, a change of possession, it does stop. But every other dead ball, the rest of this game here on out, will have running clock. So with 2:56 to go, the Bulldogs have opened up a 44-7 lead. And we'd like to thank Fort Fresh tonight. Step up your snack game by offering healthy and delicious options from Fort Fresh Vending. Contact them to find out how to get a free vending machine in your business or school. That is Fort Fresh. So the Saints look like they as well will send out some fresh jerseys. And with a quarter and some change of play here, you might as well get some early season experience for some of the young guys.
Yeah, you know, they've worked hard since the beginning of August, so although it's on the other end of this, you still want to give them some time and for all the hard work that they have put in. So
yeah,
another good kick by their
that one was a line drive.
Kicker.
Still easily made it to the end zone. So we'll see what the Bishop Dwenger offense comes out with, see if some of their starters are still maintaining in the game. You know, with a new quarterback trying to build up that chemistry, I wouldn't be surprised to still see a lot of those same faces in here.
I would agree with you, Eric. I mean, I think they're coming out with their first team-O.
.220 and counting on the third quarter clock as the Saints start with the 1st and 10. Pressure off the edge, picked up, chucked out towards Carter Minix, and not able to get his mitts on that ball. Again, we see Springer just trying to get rid of that football with pressure in his face.
Yeah, the pressure's just been relentless tonight from Brownsburg. Just really fast defense.
Second down handoff through the middle. Good positive play for the Saints. Pick up 4 yards to the 24-yard line. Knipschier again toting the rock on that play. And that brings up a 3rd and 6. And as the Saints go through the season and play some defenses that are not quite up to this caliber, And we'll see Springer get more and more comfortable. The offensive line will continue to gel, and he'll get plenty of chances to show what he can do. But unfortunately, against this front seven, as we see yet again, it is just few and far between the number of chances that he's had to really set his feet and throw. That time, a host of white jerseys in there. Jameer Pendleton, one of those leading the charge. So 4th and 12 punting situation. That brings out Aguirre. Now inside 40 seconds to go in this third quarter. They bring the heat. Just does get it away. Caught at the midfield stripe, and here comes the return. Inside the 40 down to the 35-yard line goes number 22. That's Isaac Patterson. And it doesn't look like we'll get another playoff in this third quarter, as we tick down to 15 seconds to go and the offense stays on the sideline. So that's going to be your score after 3 quarters of play. Brownsburg over Bishop Dwenger 44-7. Fourth quarter coming up after this. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Are you stressed due to your financial situation? Is debt ruining your marriage or relationships? Are you having a hard time making ends meet? We can help. SMA is a preferred Ramsey coaching consultancy that offers insights, strategies, and a pathway forward to financial freedom. Real advice, personalized solutions, and a real way to find peace and grow your bottom line. We offer a free initial consultation and a variety of plans to move forward. We don't judge, we help. SMA Incorporated, offering peace to the financially stressed.
Welcome back, folks. Is the current economic climate causing concerns? Contact SMA for financial resources that will bring you peace of mind. SMA is a preferred Ramsey coaching consultant offering practical resources to set you on the right path. That's SMA. Well, we've got a 44-7 ball game here as Bishop Dwenger is going to drop their first game of the season, but we have seen a lot of flashes, Kevin, of things that I think the Saints are going to build on, that Coach Garrett and his coaching staff are going to see and pinpoint here, that are going to lead to good things down the road for the Saints squad.
No, absolutely. They've not given up. They've played hard this whole night, and to keep their mental focus, not get down, understand where they are, and we will get better. Absolutely, we'll get better.
First down handoff, good for a gain of 9 yards down to the 26.
And I will say, a credit to Coach Hart at Brownsburg. There's not a lot of flashiness out there. They're not over celebrating. They've come, they do their job, and you got to like that in the discipline here at Brownsburg as well. So hats off to Coach Hart. He's got a great team.
And yet again, the Saints still coming with that pressure, that time combining on the sack, Lozada along with Nick Pelkington. New quarterback in as well for Brownsburg, number 10. That's Iasua Stevens. Third and 7 for the Bulldogs. Stevens got plenty of time, plenty of space. Chucks it, looking for the end zone, and leaves it well short. That'll bring up a fourth down.
Yeah, good coverage out there by Ryan Pikel. Had him well covered, nowhere to throw the ball. I think he could actually, if he might have been able to run it there.
Yeah, I think so.
But good coverage by the Saints secondary that time.
4th and 7, offense stays on the field. And here's Stevens to throw. Fires it down the sideline, has an open man, and it is caught. Hauled in for a touchdown, that time by Davin Pearson, junior wide receiver. And that puts the Bulldogs up 50-7. 50-7 here at Shields Field.
Yeah, good separation that time by the receiver from our DB. And, hey, the third-string quarterback drops a dime on us, Eric. Very good pass and catch there by Brownsburg.
Yeah, when you're number 1, number 2, and number 3 quarterbacks all can get a touchdown pass in a game, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
PAT is good as well. That makes your score 51-7. Brownsburg on top of Bishop Dwenger with 9:43 to go in this ball game.
The Bishop Dwenger Spirit Shop is your home for all official saintly swag. With new items arriving weekly, the Spirit Shop has something for everyone. From uniforms and accessories to gifts and game gear, the Spirit Shop can outfit the entire Dwenger family for any season. Located on campus in the gymnasium.
For the SAC schools. For Northrop, they open their season at New Haven. They have Wayne week 2. So a SAC squad, but from the other division that they'll play. For Northside, after the game against Northridge, they will travel to Lawrence North. Southside, meanwhile, gets to host South Bend St. Joseph. So another one of our parochial schools will actually be traveling to Fort Wayne next Friday night. Meanwhile, the Wayne Generals hosting Crispus Attucks tonight. We mentioned they'll be at Northrop next week. Concordia, they've scheduled a couple good small schools between tonight at Cecina down in Indianapolis, and then hosting Eastbrook next week. And Bishop Luers, after East Noble, they will host New Haven in their home opener next Friday night. Here is the kick return for Bishop Dwenger up to the 24-yard line. It's Ellinger on the return. And we'd like to remind you folks also, as we embark on this new journey with the Saints Sports Network, please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube. Also follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram. Again, we're excited to bring this Bishop Dwenger Athletics to you on this new platform, solely dedicated to the athletic program here at Bishop Dwenger.
SSN, Eric.
That's right.
Saints Sports Network.
All right, first and 10 Saints. Springer still in the ball game, fires this one to Minix. Short gain on the play, called a gain of 2. As we tick down inside, 9 minutes to go in this ball game.
And the Saints still chugging, good energy. Try to get some positive plays here. And maybe get a few first downs and not give this ball back.
Yeah. That time the handoff goes nowhere. A lot of white jerseys in the backfield. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long for Bishop Dwenger. Three wideouts at the bottom of your screen. Looking up top for Lehrman, trying to get the ball there. And down the middle of the field has a wide open man, and it is incomplete. That's Xavier Garrett, who had just a wide open seam down the field. And, you know, if he would have had maybe a second longer to throw.
Yeah, Ethan was a little bit on the run, a little bit pressured, and, he was wide open, just missed him.
Yeah. Even then, it looked like Garrett may have had a chance to get to that football. But tough to follow that under the stadium lights when the ball's speeding down the field. Good long punt. And
good punt coverage there, too.
So Brownsburg takes over at the 46-yard line. 7 minutes to go. Yeah, as we look at this SAC season, it'll be really interesting after these first 2 weeks finish up and we go to conference play. Here's a completion on first down for the Bulldogs. Once you start conference play, with the conference broken up into 2 divisions, based on class. So you've got like the upper division, Carroll, Homestead, Snyder, Northrop, Dwenger, all those teams playing in 6A, 5A. And then Division B, Northside, Southside, Wayne, Concordia, Lures, all in 2A, 3A, 4A. Second down run, good for 3 yards by
good play
Brownsburg.
by Nick Pelkington there, coming up from a safety.
But once they hit conference play, you play 4 games against your division and then 3 against teams in the other division. So for Bishop Dwenger this year, the 3 teams that they'll be playing are going to be Lures, Concordia, and North. So the 2 teams that are left off their schedule are Southside and Wayne.
Wayne, right.
So they'll cycle through, and of course next year they'll play those 2 teams. But it'll be interesting as those cycle through. Not everyone's going to play the same team. So at the end of the year, you're just going to have the best record of all the SAC teams will be named the SAC champion. So it's really interesting because some teams might not even have to play, one of those top teams and might still get to be SAC champs because of the nature of the division. 4th down run, converts it, and keeps the drive moving for the Bulldogs. So it really does create an interesting dynamic where if you're one of those smaller schools, you're primarily playing against the smaller schools. Yes, you'll still have to play 3 of the bigger schools, but it kind of helps level the playing field and gives them a shot at an SAC title as well.
It does. It's actually, I love the format, to be honest, Eric.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help the smaller schools stay within the SAC and does allow some of us to, the schools to play other schools like we are doing these first 2 weeks. I think it's been a great move by the SAC. There's been talk, or people have written articles about maybe the SAC expanding, or potentially, as Carroll, Homestead grow, would they potentially leave the SAC and join a Hoosier Crossroads conference as well? So who knows what it will be in 10 years, but I really like the format this year.
Well, and of course you have a new football team in Fort Wayne, Blackhawk Christian, getting their first season of actual 11-on-11 football. I think they played 7-on-7 a year ago, and they finally have a full schedule this year. So more exciting news for football fans in Summit City.
I love it. That's fantastic.
So it'll be interesting to see how the SAC plays out this year. And of course, if you end up with 2 teams that are tied at the end of the regular season, head-to-head is your tiebreaker, and if they didn't play head-to-head, then you just have co-champs. And we've seen a number of co-champs in the past.
Yeah.
Takes no shine off that trophy if you have to share it. That's still a victory bell. Is still a victory bell.
What is the rule, Eric, if you share? Who gets the bell? Do you know the rules?
Well, I know you split it up. I know you share.
Half a year, you get it.
Well, it depends.
Half.
We've had tri-champions before where you each get it for 3 games.
Right.
Now, what I don't know is how they determine who gets it the first 3 games versus the middle 3, and I couldn't tell you that. Do you know the answer? Or are you just are you trying to stump me here?
I just check it.
Okay.
Just check it. I will tell you this, Eric, that you look out here, and I know this is not the result that most Dwenger fans like, but you cannot beat this community here. Still, the stands are packed. The kids are playing out in the fenced area, and you can't beat this.
Absolutely. Second down run down near the 21-yard line. As the way this game started with the 80-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, I mean, the Dwenger sideline could have hung their head and been dejected right from the get-go, and that was just not the case.
No.
So you've got to believe that the coaching staff and Coach Garrett and everyone has these boys down here ready for the long haul. They know what they're up against here,
sure
especially
do.
in the early part of this season.
I don't think anybody Yes, I think everybody knew coming in that these would be two very tough teams.
Absolutely.
Right? So
you want to keep realistic expectations and at the same time start building up that confidence that you'll be able to compete with some of these big teams. Looks like a fresh set of downs. We are now inside a minute to go. So the Bulldogs will only have to run one more play before we call this one a wrap. Looks like victory formation, and they'll take a knee
very
here.
nice, Coach, kneeling it.
Absolutely. So that's going to let the clock tick down to zeros here in about 20 seconds. Your final score from Shields Field, week 1 of the 2023 high school football season. The Brownsburg Bulldogs 51 and the Bishop Dwenger Saints 7. Brownsburg flexes its muscles on both sides of the field, offense, defense, and, of course, don't forget special teams with that big leg kicker. They showed that they are a team to beat and a contender in 6A this year. And just a great experience for these Bishop Dwenger Saints to go up against one of the best in the state. Get a lot of experience. You learn a lot about yourselves, what you need to work on, and even some of the things that you did well that you want to build off of.
No doubt about it. I mean, this team's just going to get better and better, and next week's going to be tough too. But if they stay mentally positive about what's going on in the long, the long haul here,
right?
We're going to be fine this year, and we're going to have great success. This is a really good team, and they're going to compete at the highest level, I would believe, in the 6A format.
Yeah. So that does it for the ball game. We're going to step aside and be back to wrap things up here from Shields Field. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.
Hi, sports fans. Sean McBride here, inviting you to try the Barbershop experience. St. Joe Center Barbershop, located at the corner of St. Joe Center and Maplecrest, prides itself on professionalism, cleanliness, and a family-friendly atmosphere. In their third generation of family ownership, they have a combined experience of over 125 years. Give them a call at 485-6981. It's my barbershop of choice. That's St. Joe Center Barbershop at 485-6981. Hi, sports.
We are back at Shields Field, putting the finishing touches on this Bulldog victory, 51-7, the final, as Brownsburg cruises in their opening win over the Bishop Dwenger Saints. As we look at this game, Kevin, and look at week 2, of course, the Bishop Dwenger Saints heading down to Archbishop Moeller in Cincinnati, another perennial powerhouse in the state of Ohio. Right now, they're ranked number 35 in the country. Not just, a statewide poll. This is 35 in the country by Max Preps. And right now, they're number 2 in the state of Ohio. So it's going to be another similar case of a very high-powered opponent that is going to give the Saints everything they can handle and then some. And that's going to get the Saints well prepared to start the conference portion of their schedule in week 3, as we mentioned, kicking things off for the SAC play against the Northside Legends. So next week, Kevin, we are road tripping, although I don't think you'll be making the trip with us.
I won't be able to. I will be rooting on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in Dublin, Ireland.
That is outstanding.
Yes.
Well, as excuses go, I guess that one's pretty good.
Right.
I would take a trip to Ireland anytime as well. So, but we will bring that game to you right here on the Saints Network. So have no fear if you're a Bishop Dwenger fan, can't make the trip down to Cincinnati. Just tune us in. Again, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. You'll be staying up to date with everything. We do have a score right now on Moeller. Our opponent next week for Bishop Dwenger, they are trailing Ben Davis 34-14. So it looks like Moeller will take one on the chin to start the season. Maybe not quite up to their usual stuff, or maybe Ben Davis is just really, really good.
Right.
But either way, we might have an upset Moeller squad on our hands next week,
Yes.
and that's never a good thing.
Right.
But we do look forward to bringing that game to you right here on the Saints Sport Network. So again, kickoff, I believe, is 7:30. So we will have that. Yep, 7:30 is kickoff time. So we'll be on about 7:15, just like this week. Be sure to catch pregame interview as well as the kickoff at 7:30 between the Bishop Dwenger Saints and the Moeller Crusaders. Again, that game down in Cincinnati actually being played at the university, Mount St. Joseph. So great atmosphere. We talked about it earlier, Kevin. Great experience of getting on a
road
bus
trip.
and driving.
Yes.
You know, not only the experience of having to play after a road trip, but, you know, if you're a high school guy and you got your brothers out there,
yes,
doesn't get much better than a fun road trip.
It's a great bonding.
It is.
It's a great bonding trip, and yes, it'll be a great experience for all, and they'll compete. I know they will. They're not going to give up. They're going to give everything they have, and we'll see what happens.
Yep.
And, hey, a shout-out to our producer, Parker Knoll.
That's
Thanks
right.
for everything you did, Parker, and congrats on your newly engagement. Congrats.
Yes, congratulations, and a big thank you to Parker, as you said. Of course, for Kevin Burns, I'm Eric Pete. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. May God bless you. You're watching Bishop Dwenger football on the Saints Sports Network.